The City by Charles Darrow. Commercial properties on the board are from Philadelphia and the residential from Atlantic City. William Penn is the forefather of urban planning, guys. Did I even tell you about William Penn? Gosh, we started off, we got all these detours going on. City's founded in 1682 by William Penn. He comes from a very distinguished family in England. His father is Sir William Penn, Admiral of the British Navy. In order to satisfy a debt owed to his father, King Charles II gives young Penn some of his land holdings in the New World, and here we sit. But William Penn was also a Quaker. Quakers are a radical Protestant group that breaks from the Church of England. What makes the Quakers so radical is that their core belief is that all are created equal under God. So City truly is founded on the ideals of religious, racial, and gender equality. But how about an 83-foot LED screen, 10 million megapixels to your right, inside this glass lobby here? I don't know if it's on. It rotates in and out of showings, the entire back wall there. Nothing going on. And everybody acts cool with all those police around. Alright, looks good. We got Jersey drivers throughout the city today. Eddie, we got you. Anybody from Jersey? You're from Jersey. I saw that look on your face. Two kinds of people from Jersey, those who admit it and those who don't. Alright, building ahead of you to your left there, that's Liberty Place. It looks something like the Chrysler Building in New York. It's 883 feet. It's also where you'll probably get one of the best views of the city. Liberty One observation deck, 57 stories up, 360-degree views. It's also our stop 18. Did you guys have a stop you were getting off at, or are you riding the loop with us? Riding the loop? Riding the loop? Sounds good. So we won't waste our time announcing them. No drop-offs up here, Eddie. And guys, find William Penn up on top of City Hall. You see that statue up there? William Penn is the largest statue on a building in the world. It's 37 feet tall. Makes him about 3.5 stories. One of his hairs to shoulder length is 4.5 feet. His eyes are a foot across. And when they brought William Penn up there, they brought him up in 13 pieces. City Hall itself, largest municipal building in the world. There's over 700 rooms inside, 13 main entrances, over 1 million square feet. Still used for our municipal services. If you guys remember, City Hall takes 30 years to complete, not the intended 5. I want to tell you about it, but I don't want you to miss this public art on your right. Different view when we round our turn here. A little behind us to your right, it's done by artist Klaus Oldenburg. It is called The Clothespin. However, the artist insists there are 2 lovers embracing inside the clothespin. Many in the city will tell you there's a 7 and a 6 wrapped up in that metal wiring there. It also looks like a clothespin. So City Hall takes 30 years to complete. By the time it's finished, this architectural style that it's done in, French Second Empire, people think it's ugly. They think it's out of fashion. There are talks of tearing down City Hall as recently as the 1950s. City Hall is also the largest masonry-bearing structure in the world. Over 88 million bricks used to build it. And so at the time they're talking and tearing it down, they do a little math and they realize as the largest masonry-bearing structure in the world, at its base, in some places those walls are 22 feet thick. So they did not tear down City Hall. I think we're happy to have it. And this is Broad Street, guys. As far as you can see ahead of you here, this is our main north-south thoroughfare. Broad Street will run you the length of the city. It's over 13 miles long. If you continue Broad Street through the courtyard in City Hall to the other side where Broad Street continues, second longest street in the country. And this will take you all the way down to our sports stadiums in South Philadelphia. And that means we are on the Super Bowl parade route. More people turned out for the Super Bowl parade than they did for Pope Francis's visit in 2015. It was a celebration, to say the least. We did this. No Patriots fans, no Cowboys fans, right? Giants fans? Alright, you guys are good with me. Great building coming up ahead of us on your right. This is the Union League building. It's built 1865. Union League is a patriotic society founded in 1862 to support the policies of Abraham Lincoln. Today, a private club. But Eddie Murphy fans, Wells Fargo building on your left. If you've seen the movie Trading Places, That's Duke and Duke. There it is. This is the Bellevue on your right, built 1904. Every U.S. president since Teddy Roosevelt has stayed here at the Bellevue dump truck. Not just yet. Before the Bellevue stood there was the Stratford Hotel. There are notes written on stationery from the Stratford Hotel by Bram Stoker from Dracula, saying he was inspired looking up and down Broad Street at men in high collars and capes. Brick building on your right, Academy of Music. It's the oldest opera house in the country, still used for its original purpose. Built 1855, continuous use since 1857. Merriam Theater on your right, home theater of our fine arts school. The Wilma at Aurora on your left is our nonprofit theater. $25 tickets, all productions at the Wilma. If you look up to your right on top of the building there, it's the Hamilton Garden Ballroom. It sits on top of the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts, which is our major venue, puts on our larger productions, also the home of the Philadelphia Orchestra. You notice the theme that started to develop here. This part of Broad, South Broad, this is our Avenue of the Arts. This is Philly's Broadway. Here on your right, one of our country's oldest fine arts schools, founded in 1890. You see that?
Yeah.
Eddie's down there laughing. I don't know. There's some guy riding by giving us he's wagging his finger at us. Philadelphia is home to, the greater Philadelphia is home to over 90 institutes of higher learning, which gives us a student population of over 400,000 and makes us second only to Boston. We make our turn returning onto Pine Street. William Penn, forefather of urban planning, huge rectangular grid system, 1,200 acres, 2.5 square miles originally. All streets north-south are numbered, all streets east-west. There are things in nature. Low-hanging tree branches on Pine Street. Don't reach for the tree branches, guys. We're kind of small up here, but you'll set the person behind you up for failure if you reach for the branches. And this is William Penn's southeast quadrant. Center Square is Washington Square. Coming up on your left-hand side behind this brick wall is something called a front yard. And that's one of 2.5 front yards that we'll see on Pine Street. We'll be on Pine Street for over a mile. And you've probably seen a few of our murals. One of our murals coming up ahead on your left on the corner. No windows. That's an original speakeasy. You see Aretha Franklin, Frankenstein's Monster, Frankfurter, Ben Franklin, Frankie Avalon, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Frank Zappa, Frank Sinatra, Frank Perdue. Even Pope Francis made it on there. That place called Dirty Frank's. It's owned by a guy named Mike. It's an original speakeasy. It is now a dive bar. And you've probably seen a bit of construction in the city. Construction's up 9% in the city since last year. So we're booming right now. The city is also said to be having a real cultural revival. And this has become a trendy neighborhood recently. Down through the light to your left there on the corner with the blue door, that's Giovanni's room. And Giovanni's room is the very first LGBT bookstore. So this part of the city is our Rainbow District, which we affectionately call our Gayborhood. But it is originally our Antiques Row, as we'll see, coming up on your right. As we continue down Pine, we are entering the largest collection of colonial homes in the country. So just know that in colonial times, steps are an indicator of social status and wealth. So the more steps you have, the wealthier you are. You'll see 1 and you will see as many as 7. Half a block up on your left-hand side, there's a flag flying. And there's a little plaque built into the home that the flag flies from. 4 hands interlocked right here on your left. This plaque is original fire insurance. That's the contribution ship founded by Ben Franklin in 1752. It's the very first fire insurance company. William Penn did live through the Great Fire of London in 1666. So when he designs his city, he designs it to be fireproof. Stone and masonry structures, wider streets. Philadelphia was and is. The city still remains a leader in medical training, practice, and research. 1 in 6 doctors in the country have received training here in the city. And so we are coming up on another Philly first. When we go to our light here on your left-hand side, it's Pennsylvania Hospital. It's founded in 1751 by Dr. Benjamin Franklin and Dr. Thomas Bond. It's been in continuous use since 1755. When we get to the center here, all the way up at the very top, that round balcony that you see, that is the country's first surgical amphitheater. And so this predates electricity. They would hold surgeries there between the hours of 11 and 2. Also predates anesthetics. So if you're going in for surgery, you'd have a few fair options. And one of them would be to drink alcohol until you passed out. Another option would be to smoke opium until you passed out. Quaker teetotalers. Quaker's option was to be hit over the head with a mallet until they passed out. And really, it was not medically recommended to wake up during surgery, but should you do so, they would put a lead bullet between your teeth, and they would tell you to bite the bullet. That was also a free hospital. The way that they funded the services was by selling tickets to the surgeries. Coming up on your right-hand side through the light, there's a colonial flag flying. Second row windows up. Find the flag. There's a little black metal thing sticking out of this same window here on your right. That little black metal thing is called a busybody. What it is a series of mirrors. So if somebody knocks on your door, you look into your busybody from upstairs. It's a colonial caller ID. It's also known as a mother-in-law mirror. This part of the city, this is known as Society Hill. It is originally given to a Society of Merchants by William Penn in order to drum up trade and commerce in his new city. Largest collection of colonial homes. And in the 1950s and 60s, Philadelphia was not in a good way. There was urban decay across the city. These are dilapidated, abandoned, run-down homes. Philadelphia's greatest urban planner next to William Penn, call him the father of modern Philadelphia. His name is Edmund Bacon. He's also the father of Kevin Bacon. He plays a large role in helping to save this part of the city. What he decides best to do, rather than allowing for these homes to be torn down, sell them at a very low cost, and some say nothing more than back taxes. Offer many other incentives on one condition, and that they are all restored to their original colonial code. So in addition to the father of modern Philadelphia, they also call Edmund Bacon savior of Society Hill. And the British occupied the city in 1777 for about a year. Coming up on your right is the Church of the Patriots, Pine Street Presbyterian, built 1768. All of the colonial flags you see there mark the tombs of American Revolutionary War soldiers, over 250 of them. Only Presbyterian structure standing that predates the Revolution. It's also used in the Nicolas Cage film National Treasure. When the British occupied the city, they used the tombstones for target practice, and they burnt the pews in the winter to stay warm at Pine Street Presbyterian. But they worshipped here on your right at St. Peter's Episcopal, built 1758, originally built to house a growing congregation at Christ Church, which we will soon see here. So Society Hill, once in rough shape, no more. These are not cheap row homes. Probably one of the more expensive, desirable places to live in the city. All colonial homes. On your left-hand side, the very last unit coming up, it's right on the corner. Last unit on your left is 8 feet wide, right here. Taxed according to street frontage in colonial times. So 8 feet wide, that's as narrow as they get. Right now we are turning on the Head House Square, and this is the site of an original colonial farmers market. Still hold our farmers markets here on Sundays, coming up on South Street. South Street is our hip, artsy, alternative, bohemian scene. Music venues, restaurants, bars, art shops, funny shops. South Street is also where you'll find Jim's Cheesesteaks. Pat's and Gino's are in South Philadelphia, well south of South. Now these are your 3 postcard Philadelphia cheesesteak places. I'm sure that before you came to the city, you had a friend tell you you had to go get your cheesesteak at one of these places. You don't. Alright? I think we should have the talk. We should have the cheesesteak talk, yeah? Alright, let me point out one more local treasure. Coming up on your right is a Wawa. Wawa is in a native language. It means not 7-Eleven. And you guys not from the area, find yourselves inside a Wawa immediately. This is the start of the talk. When you order your cheesesteak, what they want to know is what type of cheese you want, whether or not you want onions. I imagine on a day like today, the line is out the door, around the block. These guys are working under a lot of pressure in there. They are for no nonsense. Seen the Seinfeld episode, The Soup Nazi. If you go into some of these places and you start asking 21st century questions, like do you have a vegetarian option, or is this meat organic? no cheesesteak for you, alright? You're out of there. Also, you made it to Philly. You are here. So when you order your cheesesteak, don't order a Philly cheesesteak. Alright? If you do, price of your cheesesteak just went up $5 and you didn't even know it. Just order a cheesesteak. Got it. These guys are tricky. Some names to throw out. Right by Stop 1. Right by Independence Hall, Sonny's is excellent. Steve's Princess Steaks right by Liberty 1. A few other places if you want to head out. I know some people are partial to those places I listed, but they don't have to try. People line up at their door no matter what. All the way across the river to your right, a little behind you, those battleships. The USS New Jersey. It's the most decorated battleship in U.S. history. Served in World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, and the Lebanese Civil War. Only ship to provide gunfire support during Vietnam. And it is now a museum over in Camden, New Jersey since 1991. Four-mast ship on your right is the Moshulu. Moshulu is in the Seneca language. It means one who fears nothing, and that is originally a German grain ship, seized when we go to war with Germany in World War I. It's now a 4-star restaurant, and that's also the ship that brought young Vito Corleone to the New World. The Godfather 2. Scene takes place 1901. Ship is built 1904. And this is going to be our Vietnam Veterans Memorial coming up on your right. Much better view when we round our turn. It is modeled after the memorial in D.C. And there were 648 Philadelphians that lost their lives in Vietnam. 9 missing in action. And the city is also home to the high school to lose the most former students. It's Thomas Edison High School with 59. This bumpy ride that we're going to feel here, not cobblestone. This is called Belgian Block. It's originally used as ballast. Ships coming from Europe to the New World. They would just get here, unload it on the banks of the river, load up their cargo, return home. City paved the streets with it in the late 19th century. And when we make our turn, we're going to be turning onto Delaware Avenue. Sign reads Columbus Boulevard. Renamed Columbus Boulevard to celebrate the 500-year anniversary of his landing nowhere near here, but monuments Christopher Columbus ahead to your left. He was Italian. Italian flag atop. Philadelphia's home. It's the second largest Italian population per capita outside of New York. That's the idea we run with. This is Spruce Harbor Park on your right. So guys, one of our 4th of July fireworks celebrations or displays is going to be out on the Parkway, out by the museum there. And the other will be real close to here, right on the river at Penn's Landing, which will soon pass. This Spruce Harbor Park here, this place, this is going to be hot real estate later on tonight. So if you're smart, you go grab a hammock and post up here until later tonight. This place will be packed later on. Oh, take a close look at these 3 buildings to your left. Close look. They can be deceiving. They have been called an optical illusion. Society towers, they're all the same size.